This is an unboxing of the JVC GY-HM170. It's a compact 4K capable camcorder, and JVC UK have kindly sent it to me fresh from the factory on loan for a little review. Now there are two versions of this, the GY-HM170 and the HM200. The only difference being that the 200 has XLR audio inputs on a handle on the top, which this one does not. Also, the 200, the firmware is capable of doing live streaming, which again, this one is not. Other than that, in terms of the ergonomics and the actual picture quality and so on, the two camcorders are the same. There is another one in the range, the LS300. That's a bit of a different beast because that's got a super 35mm sensor and interchangeable lenses, I think micro four thirds on the front. But again, large amounts of the ergonomics are actually the same as this one. But to all intents and purposes, the LS300 is a different beast. The 170 and the 200 are pretty much the same, barring a couple of changes. So, what have we got here? This is, as you can see, the very first time I've unfolded this, cutting open the sellotape and bending the cardboard for the very first time. Well, that obviously is a power adapter with a little, I don't know what you call those prongy things that stick into the back of the camcorder. What do you call that kind of plug? I don't know. But anyway, it's a power adapter for the mains. That's the battery. What have we got? 16 watt hours, it says. In other words, 2,115 milliamp hours, and that's a 7.2 volt battery pack called a BNVF823U, which I imagine will keep it going for an hour or two. We'll find out later. Right, what else here? The usual palaver of manuals, is this, and warranty information. It's not manuals, is it? It's too thin to be a manual. You've got documents for memory recording system. That might well be the manual in PDF form. Some hazardous disposal of your electronics information. Basic instructions. They do give you a printout. Okay, fair enough. That's something in Russian, and that's various other languages. It's telling you there, the following recording formats are supported by firmware updates, and it's basically saying it can do 24p. As well as the usual 25p, which is obviously what we get here in PAL land. That would be 30p, presumably, on the US version. That is a non-UK power lead. That is a UK power lead. And that's the end of the bits in the top. So let's pull this cardboard out, if it's going to come along. There we go. Getting to the exciting bit now, and that obviously is a lens hood. Let's just take that out and have a little look. Now it hasn't got, as the Canons do and the Sonys, a little sort of flip down cover, which is a shame because it's very handy to have a little flip down lens cover built into the lens hood, but apart from that, it seems fairly standard. And then underneath that, there we go. Oh, isn't it diddy? All this space. Presumably that would be the XLR handle if you were unboxing the HM200. But as this is the 170, that space is empty. And we just get the camcorder. I say just. It's not just at all. It's a very exciting moment. If you are a camcorder nerd like I am. Right, there we go. Ooh. Tell you what, it's a bit chunkier than I expected. Yeah, it's small in terms of length, but look at the width. Feel the girth. Yeah, my oh my. Okay, let's just move this box out of the way. We can have a proper look at the camcorder. Now that is properly compact, isn't it? Notwithstanding that it is quite wide, as I say. Over here I have got a Canon XF200 for comparison, and the JVC is obviously rather shorter and actually no thicker when you take into account the what do you call it, the grip on the side. So there we go. Well, let's have a look at it here, and I'll tell you what I like about this. It's the fact that it's got two lens rings on the front. There are some small camcorders, like for example the Sony PXW-X70, that have a single lens ring on the front, and that is fine of course for focus. But what do you do if you want to change the exposure? Well, they often have a dial, just like this one, which you can adjust the iris with, but that's really quite fiddly. If, like me, you are filming news or live events or documentaries, things like that, you need two controls up here, one for focus and one for iris. Forget zoom. I've never understood having a zoom ring when you've got a perfectly good zoom rocker or a remote zoom demand. But what you do want is two rings here. So this is the ideal compact camcorder form. Small, so they can squeeze just the two rings on, but not so small that they only give you the one ring. So we've got a focus here. I think actually the default on this is zoom, but you can allocate it to be iris, and then you have still got this little dial here which you can allocate to be something else. Now quite clearly you've got a whole array of buttons here as well. You've got ND filters, quarter and a 16th on a little switch there. You've got a couple of assignable buttons. That's a focus assist. I don't know what that one is. Obviously you can reprogram them. Auto manual focus button, put a camera into full auto if you want there. Iris, auto and manual there. Little gain switches, marvellous, proper physical tangible switches. 3 position, low, medium, high. White balance, A and B, and a preset setting. This is all good standard pro stuff. Button 6 is marked as the optical image stabilization, on and off. There's an AE level and a shutter button. That, I guess, is a little up and down for changing your menus. That's a little bit fiddly, but hey, it is a tiny camcorder. On and off with a little detente in the middle. You press detent, not quite sure. And a mode button there. Flip out screen with a little joystick on the left there and a couple of control buttons. Does that go all the way around? It does, and yep, flips down as well. That's good. Inside here then, 2 Sdxc card slots, I think, because this thing records 4K at 150 megabits. I think I'm right in saying that the Sdxc cards have to be Class 10 UHS3, and I think I'm right in saying this the fastest type of Sdxc at the time of filming this video. Slot select button there, more programmable assignable buttons, a low lux mode, a scene review, a zebra on off, display and status. That looks like a little loudspeaker for reviewing your footage. On the bottom, basically just the tripod mounting. On the back, does this pull out or lift up? I don't want to break the thing. Oh, there we go. Pulls out and lifts up. Okay, good to see it comes with an eye cup. Some of them don't. Big battery release button. Battery slots in there. DC power there. And you've also got underneath this rubberized container an AV out, headphone out. That is a sensible place to put headphones. Some camcorders do strange things. They have the headphone output on the front here, when of course you want it coming backwards because that's where your ears are going to be. Auxiliary, what's that? An aux in perhaps? And look, a 2.5mm remote control. I'm hoping that's a standard Lanc control that I can plug my controller into for that remote zoom demand. Fantastic. Right, handle, fine. I should mention, by the way, this is very lightweight. I mean, really light. Not so light as you kind of feel that it's flimsy. You're certainly feeling that it's a plastic body. I don't think you'd want to go throwing this about, but it's light in the sense that you could carry this around with no trouble. I really, really hope that when the time comes for me to switch this on and do some experiments on the imaging, I hope it's as good in the picture as it is in the form factor, because at the moment I'm really liking this. You've got a programmable button 7 there, which says rec, but since you've got a rec there, I don't know why you'd have that as rec as well. Expanded focus, ideal. Let's just see if that is ideal actually. I don't know if I have funny shaped hands, but I do find these buttons always rather tricky to actually get your fingers onto without pushing the camera, so you can brace it so you can get your fingers to them. Perhaps I just have weird hands. That one's all right. Zoom rocker's fine. We'll have to see how sensitive that is in practice. Built-in microphone. Obviously the HM200 version would have a handle on top here with XLRs, but we'll make do with built-in mics, or there must be, I would imagine, somewhere a 3.5mm input for an external mic here. Am I wrong? Surely not. We've got to here. That's a USB and an HDMI, full-size HDMI. Is there something under there? I don't think there is. There's got to be a microphone socket on this thing somewhere, surely. Well, I'm not sure if I'm just going demented. I'm sure I'll find it later. Lens cap. Let's peel that tape off. There it is, JVC 4K lens. And amazingly, it goes down to f1.2, which is not a lot, as in quite a lot, but in a not a lot sort of way, if you see what I mean. We'll have to see what that is like in low light, of course. There's a good feel to these rings. Slightly rubberized. You can definitely sort of grasp them, and they've got nice smooth feeling to them, and your hand isn't obstructed as you turn them, which again it is on some camcorders. What's that? Ooh, hello. That must be something to do with the top handle, which I don't know if you can buy it separately and add it on to this, but I guess it must clock in there and slot in there. I don't really know. I'm kind of making this up as I go along. Do not point the viewfinder towards the sun, it says on this note, otherwise you'll burn it out. Is there a little adjuster? Yes, there's a little adjuster under here, so you can make sure it focuses for your eyes. Well, that's quite good, I think. Nice and light, nice and compact. Obviously shoots a full range of HD and possibly even SD formats, I think. But anyway, it also shoots 4K. So that is the JVC GY-HM170. I'll go and take it away, do some tests and put some footage up, and we'll see what it's like in practice. Thank you very much for watching. Hope this was useful. If it was, please do give the video a click on the like button. And if you're not already a subscriber to the channel, then click on subscribe. And when I upload new videos, YouTube should let you know about it. Thanks again. Bye-bye.